I work in relief print making, which is a surface is carved, inked, and the paper's laid upon it, and the surfaces can be different, linoleum or vinyl or wood, but mostly I'm a relief print maker. Well, I like paper. Somehow paper attracts me. So I was collecting postcards and interesting advertisements when I was running businesses, and I'd think, oh, I want to model that, or I love the colors here, and I gravitated towards paper things. And then I liked people. And so doing portraiture of people and relief printing gave me a chance to work with paper, to research the lives of interesting people and to recreate them. And in studying and practicing the martial arts, there's a kind of a set point of 1,000 reps. If you've done 1,000 reps of something, you've started. You're not a master of it, but don't even talk about the fact that you've invested your time until you've done 1,000 reps. It's common among my peers. So I set out to do 1,000 portraits, and I'm in about 500 right now, but portraits that I know won't sell, that nobody knows anybody, but it's just practice. It's like going to the mat, you know, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. No one workout changes your life, but collectively over an extended and long period of time, you start to figure things out. I don't get too hung up on who I do or who owns the rights to the photos I use as a model, because I'm not doing it to create a masterpiece. I don't know any other way to get really good at something without repetition. And I used to teach my students, and they'd all repeat after me. I'd say, the repetition, and they'd all say, the mother of skill. You know, it's just transferring, it's taking what I did on the mats and taking it out of the dojo and putting it to work at other things. When you master one thing, and I'm paraphrasing, you have the same tools to master anything. And I really approach art as a martial artist, understanding the value of practice, because of all the years that I put in, the one thing that I squeezed out of it, the essence of what you get from all that training, is that you start to understand the power of transformation that is held in practice. A lot of artists say, well, I tried that. And I often think, well, how many times did you try it? Because if you haven't done it 1,000 times, you haven't tried. The lino cut and relief printing lends itself to bringing something to an image that a photograph doesn't offer. Photograph is a very fixed thing, but with all the chatter, the extra lines, the way you can slant lines or create curve or create a weird background, it brings the pictures to life in a way that I don't see in the photographs. And I like that. It's as if the person is captured in movement or in changing light. Some people are born with skills that you can't explain. They play the piano, they make art, they're born with a great set of abs, but most of us have to work on it. So when I think about making art that transcends the ordinary, I think, you know, just keep practicing. You may never get it, but you'll certainly never get it if you don't put in the time and do the reps and continuously self-evaluate. You know, where am I coming from? What kind of feedback am I getting? And just after 9/11, we had everybody was just in shock. And I remember listening to the president one day, and he said, you know, one of the good things that have come out of this is the millions of acts of kindness that people have done for each other. And we had a couple thousand clients, and I thought, what's 1 million divided by a couple thousand? With these schools having anywhere from 20 to 2,000 students. And I thought, we could do 1 million acts of kindness. So I launched an acts of kindness program. It was collected by a website that could track individual acts. There were 3 of us, the web programmer, myself, who championed the idea, and a famous martial artist. His name was Jun Rhee. But one day I said, Master Rhee, can we get Chuck Norris to help us with this? And he said, yeah, I think we can, but I'll have to put him in a place where he can't say no. And he said, by the way, if you ever really want somebody to do something for you, do so much for them that they can't say no when you ask them for something. My secret ambition is, you know, to do so much for the city, to take time to profile those people who are extraordinary, young, old, any race, because I want the city to blossom. I want to do my part. And when I finally ask the city to help me, you know, show this art or to do this, hopefully I've invested enough in the people around town that they'll go, yeah, I can't say no to that. And so it's a win-win, you know, helping people in the community to tell their stories, what they're doing, and at the same time, you know, putting myself in a position where I get to talk to the mayor or, you know, meet people that are doers and movers and shakers. And I hope that my art live somewhere in Boise after I'm gone.